Hey folks, welcome back to Hot Tub Beer Review. Today, we're going to go visit our friends at Crosstown Brewing Company and try the Evergreen Red IPA. It's out of Memphis, Tennessee. Stick around.
Evergreen, evergreen, you stay on my skin. Evergreen, evergreen, I let you back in. Stay, 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 don't go dim on me. Evergreen, evergreen.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we are drinking and reviewing. What do you say? What do you know? We are back with another show. There's Jay, there's Andy in the attic. I am Ben. What is on tap for today?
Evergreen
Red IPA.
Crosstown. Is this a new brewery alert, or have we had a Crosstown?
I think it is because I was looking it up and I couldn't find. I swore we had one.
I don't know.
I don't think we have.
But we've had Memphis,
Ghost
made.
River.
Let's look. I got it, guys.
We've had Ghost River. We've had Wiseacre. Like
I think the Memphis made was the one, that special type of Pilsner Kvike style.
No Crosstown.
Yeah, because I even looked this up for a pass.
We have
I'm
not had
pouring.
a Crosstown. I am too. I'm thirsty. I know Ben is.
I'm not waiting around for y'all to figure it out. I'm bored.
Yep, new brewery.
Wow, that seems so weird because I know we've all had, at least definitely Andy and I have had plenty of Crosstown. Just because
Nope, never.
You've never had Crosstown.
Don't think so.
Yeah, I know.
Can't
I
recall.
mean, Andy and I
Haven't checked. Haven't checked on it, but I don't recall having it.
Why didn't y'all tell me y'all were doing glasses? I would have done glasses.
Yeah, you should know. ESP. Me and
Cheers,
Andy.
mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates. Evergreen Red IPA. As it says, it's a red IPA. Six 6.5%. Balances caramel malt richness with Amarillo and Centennial hops. Has a citrus forward aroma with hints of pine and a crisp resin kissed finish. That was the beer that made that sound, not me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was.
This beer was a tribute in two parts to the neighborhood in which their beer, Crosstown's beer, was first brewed. So at the Evergreen neighborhood. I know I'm the closest to Memphis. I'm not very familiar with Memphis. And yeah, there's one of the founders, his name is Clark Ortkisi, I believe. He was one co-founder. And it was in tribute to the neighborhood where he was brewing in his backyard on Garland Street, some of their first test batches, adjacent to the Crosstown Concourse property, where they later opened the official tap room in 2018. The permanent location is now in the Crosstown neighborhood at the Crosstown Concourse, but the initial founding of brewing was in the Evergreen neighborhood. So just kind of moving into the brewery from the beer. Crosstown Brewing Company is out of Memphis, Tennessee, founded in 2018. Childhood friends, and one of the one who this was named for, Clark Ortkisi, he died after a battle with cancer. So that's part of the tribute to Clark. That's about it for the beer. There was not much on it. So yeah, the Evergreen Red. I was trying to look up others. I've had a good amount of theirs. You can get them in some bars in town, restaurants.
Yeah,
And
I'm mistaken. You and I actually shared one in 2022, the Space Bird.
Oh, sweet. That's sweet. Y'all sharing that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
sweet.
You were invited that weekend, but you
from
bailed
the
on us.
same glass. Yeah.
I don't like y'all very much. If y'all hadn't picked that up yet.
Yeah, yeah. It was one of our fun get-togethers.
Okay. Yeah. Ben's had that one.
Yeah.
Which one?
Space Bird.
Space Bird.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've actually seen that in the stores.
I don't remember the place. There was a place that we went called the Southern Craft Stove and Tap.
Yeah, it's no longer. It's
Yeah.
now the Southern Coop.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, we went there in 22.
golly, I've had a lot of theirs.
All right. So, Ben, have you had this one?
I've not had this one, I don't believe.
Why don't you go first if you're through, Andy?
Oh, I thought Andy was still talking. Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay.
Waiting on you, Ben.
Oh,
Excuse
yeah,
me.
it's your review time, Ben.
Excuse me.
Get to it.
Would you like to
Chop.
take another sip while I talk and buy time?
I like the can art, so I'll say that. I think the can art is cool. Obviously, a good homage to one of the co-founders there. We often talk about Memphis beers and just there are a few Memphis beers that are just that I've had that I'm just like the great. I got to go back. There are a couple, but it's few and far between. With the IPAs being my least favorite style, and this one does have a little bit of bitter on the back end, or enough that I'm okay not having it. The bitter for me is a little more than I like, so that definitely comes through. We've had other red IPAs, and I remember liking those, but for this one, the bitter is just a little too much for me. So for that reason, I mean, again, it's okay if you are an IPA person or not the IPA person like me and don't like the bitter. I think this is probably one that you can skip. So for me, 6.5. I think it's okay. Next.
Yeah. All right. I'll jump.
I've had it, so
Yeah. Andrew's had it.
you didn't ask.
I didn't, but I had noticed. That's why I called on Ben first. Yeah, I agree with you, Ben. For red IPA, it's not what I would expect. They talk about what it said something about balanced caramel malt and richness with the punch of pine and resin on here, Andy, something along those lines.
It said hints of pine and a crisp. So it was balances caramel malt richness with emerald and centennial hops, citrus forward aroma with hints of pine and crisp, resin fused kissed.
I'm not sure I get any of the caramel malt richness out of this. It's definitely more on the pine resin side, the bitter side. And typically I like those, but not. It's another one of these. I think we've had a lot of them lately. They're just confused beers. This is not what I would classify as a red IPA. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know what a true red IPA is, but it tastes resinous and piney, and I don't get a tremendous amount of citrus on it either, or citrus forward aroma. It's just kind of a run of the mill IPA. Again, I don't want to knock Memphis, but I don't get a lot out of their breweries and their beers. The others that I've had from Crosstown, I did look, and I had that Space Bird, and then I had another one from called Vision Board, which was one of their sours, and it was good. I like those much better than honestly this IPA, and IPAs are ones that I love. So I think I'm with you, Ben. This is going to be like a 6.5 on me.
Andrew.
Well, it feels, you can definitely taste the pine resinousness, and it to me it feels like a West Coast IPA was blended with this. To me, it's more of a bready than caramel malt, but it's a touch sweeter. They describe it as a caramel malt, and there's a little sweetness, but it's also kind of got that breadiness to it. I like it. I like the complexity, and I think there's enough flavor involved in it that it overshadows the potential degrading that Memphis water could do to it, in my opinion. So,
That's great.
I like this one. I liked it when I tried it earlier after I got it earlier months ago, and I like it now. I give it 7.5. This one, I don't know. It's, to me, there's a lot to unpack here, and so I kind of get lost in it.
If you handed it to me and told me it was a West Coast IPA, I'd buy it.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason they're trying to call it, I guess, is because that they want to have that caramel maltness and the color of it. But to me, it's more what I would envision as a West Coast.
And it leaves you with that that piney bitter aftertaste too, like the West
Ben
Coast
absolutely hates. So
Yeah.
If you did that, I'd probably change my score a little bit. But trying to tell me this is a red IPA and confusing me, no.
I think we need like some sirens or some fireworks or something here. I think this may be the first time in roughly 700 shows that Jay and I have agreed on an IPA and you have not. Because normally, me being not the IPA guy, I like IPAs that you guys don't like because they're not traditional IPAs, and you guys like the traditional IPAs. And not that I don't like them, but it's just not my favorite style. So I think I can't remember another time when Jay and I agreed that you disagreed to a whole point difference.
Yeah.
I have had a lot of beer though, so I could have just forgotten. That is going to be 6.8 for the Evergreen Red IPA from Crosstown Brewing Company out of Memphis, Tennessee. Definitely one that if you've had, were you confused? If so, leave us a comment down below. Join our community over at Discord, so you can hop on into our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server. It is a chat room, and join us and the others who have hopped on in as well. We got links down below for Hopped Up Beer Review merch, Patreon, a few other things. Check all those out, and be sure to like, subscribe, cheers that notification bell. We would always appreciate that, and we would love to see you on our next video. We've got plenty of beer to drink and review, so come on back and join us on another video. Thanks for making it this far on this one, and for Andy and the Attic and Jay, I'm Ben. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Evergreen.